Just gonna wing it. Pretty sure that's not how it's supposed to look. Oh, that's a lot of buttercream. Looks nicer. Oh God, it's a lot quicker than I thought it was gonna be. Hello, my fine people. Hi. As you guys know, Valentine's Day is coming up. Usually around this time, there are some people who feel extra down, alone. And then you add the pandemic on top of that and that just... It's a tough time for a lot of people, basically. And this isn't just to do with Valentine's Day, but since it is going to be Valentine's Day, it's a good time to talk about this. Today, I really wanted to talk about truly loving yourself, being comfortable, being alone. And this isn't just like a relationship thing. This is just a human thing. I think everyone should feel like that. If you have watched my videos for a while, then you will know that I have always struggled with confidence and loving myself. My first poem that I ever wrote was called I Hate Myself. Need I explain more? So you know, we've come a long way. In the past year, I feel like I've grown so much in confidence and loving myself. I genuinely feel like I'm at a point in my life where I am so comfortable being alone. In fact, I love it. I have very much adapted to the pandemic life. I spend most of my time on this very sofa by myself. I'm currently watching a show called Superstore. This has nothing to do with this deep mantra I was trying to get into, but Netflix recommended this show called Superstore, and I didn't really think much of it when I first got into it. But now I have like really fallen in love with it. It's my favorite show at the moment. I've fallen in love with all the characters. They feel like real people to me. I'm very emotionally attached. I should spend more time with other people, right? I just realized I've been talking about how I'm okay being alone, and in the same sentence talking about how I'm emotionally attached to these fictional characters. So maybe I'm not the best person to do this video. In the past year, with the pandemic and everything like that, I was pretty much forced to be by myself all the time. So I pretty much just had to be my own friend because there was literally no one else around. It was probably one of the best things that ever happened to me because it forced me to just be comfortable with myself and like myself and do things by myself. And also I was like moving out and living by myself, so I also had to do like more independent adult things, like bills and maintenance and all that fun stuff. So I feel like I've just grown so much in a year to the point where now I am so fine by myself. Everything I need to feel fulfilled as a human being is within me. And I believe that that's the same for everyone. I feel like I've been doing a lot of work on myself in the past year, and I'm finally at a place where I feel whole by myself. So I kind of wanted to make this video just to share some of the things I've learned and what's worked for me in the hopes that it might help anyone who needs to hear it. I thought the best way to talk about all this stuff is by baking a cake. In the spirit of loving myself, I'm going to bake myself a cake because those two things go hand in hand, baby. And yes, I am using packet mix because
it's best for us all if she doesn't bake the cake from scratch. Trust me.
I've gone for the rainbow chip party cake mix. All I need is eggs, butter, and milk. I don't think I've got milk. Or water. I can use water. Okay, you may or may not know that I have become obsessed with minimalistic cakes.
FYI, they're actually called minimalist cakes and they look like this. For someone who's quote-unquote obsessed, she's failed to get the name right. Shake my head.
I made this cake and I haven't stopped talking about it. Basically, I needed an excuse to make a cake, and turns out this is the perfect one. So we shall make one. So my plan for this one is to make a bright pink aesthetic cake with like red icing, with love yourself written on it, and some cute red heart-shaped chocolate on top. I mean, if that doesn't scream single and alone, I don't know what does. And that's the vibe we're going for. Needy and desperate. No, joking. Look how much buttercream I got. It's naughty. And I got myself pink and red icing. Okay, so I need 90 grams of melted butter. I don't have a weighing scale, so I'm just gonna wing it. Okay, I think that looks like 90 grams to me. All right, you know what? A bit of butter never hurt no one.
5 minutes in, and we're already screwed.
Today we are talking about two things, loving yourself and confidence. I didn't even know what love yourself meant. You know when people say like, oh, you should just love yourself, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll try that. What does that even mean? what does loving yourself actually mean? And the same with confidence. Like, people would be like, oh, you just should be confident. And I was like, oh, yeah. I don't know why I've never tried that before. I thought loving yourself meant you loved everything about you and that you saw yourself as a perfect human being. How I would have seen confidence in the past is if I saw someone, say on Instagram, and they look amazing, 10 out of 10, power pose, I thought that was a definition of confidence. So you had to look like that to be confident. Turns out neither of those ones are true. Now how I view it is, for me, loving yourself is more about accepting yourself. In order to love yourself, you have to be really real with yourself. You have to accept every single part of you, even the bad parts, even the parts that you don't like. So one of the reasons why I always struggled loving myself in the past is because I'm so aware of my flaws. I'm so aware of all the things I don't like about myself. I'll put my hands up. I will be the first person to say I am not perfect. I don't like it when I get angry, when I get frustrated, when I'm impatient, when I say things and then later I'll regret and I'll be like, why did I say those things? And I get really frustrated with myself and I beat myself up over it. If I'm like this, how am I going to ever love myself? Because I don't like these qualities about me. And I'm very aware of that, but I'm also trying to acknowledge that, yes, I do make mistakes and I do things I regret all the time, but I'm also trying to work on myself to be better. And you know, I feel like I've come a long way to the person I was a few years ago, but I still have a lot of growing to do, and that's fine. Like, loving yourself doesn't mean that you think yourself as perfect. Loving yourself to me means that I care about myself enough to want to be better. I acknowledge all of me. I acknowledge the bad parts of me and the good parts of me, and I love myself enough to work on the bad parts and try and better myself every single day. Am I the perfect human being? No. But am I trying to work on myself to be the best version of myself every single day? I would say so. I would say I'm trying to be better. It doesn't mean I wake up every day thinking I'm God's gift. I mean, I would love to know what that feels like. It must be amazing. It's looking at myself in the mirror and truly seeing myself. And the same with confidence. I focus so much of my confidence on looks. So if I didn't look a 10, then I can't be confident. And that's not true. Confidence has nothing to do with how you look, it's a feeling. And actually, when I look back on my life and I think, when was I the most confident? It definitely wasn't when I looked the best. Usually my confidence happens when I'm happy. And I'm usually happy around like my family, for example. I feel like I'm the most confident when I'm around my family. And let me tell you, around my family, I look rough as hell. Because I don't care what I look like. Because I'm just messing around and like just being myself. So it's just proof that confidence has nothing to do with how you look. It's a feeling you feel when you're just being yourself. Pretty sure that's not how it's supposed to look because it's all clumpy. Just keep whisking, whisk, 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 whisk. Ooh, it smells so good. This whisk is doing nothing. All for show, but it literally brings nothing to the table. It's so useless for a whisk. Oh, I just got it everywhere. Oh, maybe I don't need that much water. Oh, did I put the wrong amount in? Honestly, oh, it actually turned out all right in the end. This is a definition of trust the process, guys. Guys, this smells so good. They should make a candy. No. They should make a candle that smells like this. I would light it up every night. Oh, it smells so good. I wonder if there is a candle that's what... Guys, I need good candle recommendations. That is the most adult homebody thing I think I've ever said. Yeah, can you tell I just spent all my time in the flat by myself? Ooh, that's really good. Ooh, so excited. Ooh, yes. Oh, look how cute. Look how cute the little sprinkles are. I'm going to put some vanilla buttercream and raspberry jam in between the layers as the filling. I don't know what this specific utensil is called, but I really like it. I like it a lot. So I'm just going to put like a light spread on because last time I felt like I put too much on. And a tiny layer of raspberry jam. All good and well talking about loving yourself and confidence and all of those buzzwords. But like, how does one actually become one, right? What's a step-to-step manual on this? I need to know the instructions because I seem to have lost them since the day I was born. I'm not saying that these are things that will work. I'm just saying that these are things that I did and it kind of helped me. But by no means am I an expert on this topic. We've been new. Case in point, my channel for the past few years. Biggest thing that changed my mindset was how I looked at myself, especially in the last year, because I had to basically spend all my time by myself. I started to see myself as my own friend. So you basically treat yourself how you would treat your friend. So you spend time with them, you are very complimentary to them, you support them, you love them, you're there for them when they need help, you give advice to them, and you are genuinely happy for their success, and you build them up basically, right? I mean, I hope you're doing that to your friends, otherwise might want to question your friendship. And when I started thinking about it, I was like, wow, we do that for others. So we're clearly capable of giving love because we do that every day to all the people around us. So why are we not doing it to ourselves? Okay, I'm not saying I'm gonna look in front of the mirror and start complimenting myself, because that stuff is cringe. If you do it, that's completely fine. But I remember watching like videos about like how to love yourself, and they'll say things like you should stand in front of the mirror and give affirmations and talk nicely about yourself. The thought of me standing in front of my mirror and tell myself I'm pretty just makes me want to be sick. That sort of stuff just doesn't work on me. And there was another one where they saying like, oh, to be confident, you need to go into a room, have your shoulders back, look up, look at everyone in the eyes and stuff like that. And I was like, well, that doesn't really work for me either, because that's just not who I am. I'm not going to pretend to be something else to feel confident, because then that's not really confident. That's just me pretending to be someone else, which is a lot more work. I can barely be this person. I don't want to try and pretend to be someone else. The method that worked best for me is seeing myself as my own friend. Ask yourself this: do you want the best for yourself? Do you want to see yourself be happy? Do you want to see yourself thrive? If you genuinely want those things, then the best way to do that is to support yourself in that. Now I'm rooting for myself. Like, I want to see myself thrive. I want to see myself go on to do all the cool things I've always wanted to do. I want to see myself be successful, be happy, thrive, go on to live a very fulfilled, happy life. So I'm going to support myself in that. Whenever I feel like I'm not good enough and I can't do something, or whenever I just feel down and not that great about myself and my life, I think about like 14-year-old Taz. 14-year-old Taz was in a much different place, and like she would have killed to be at the position I am in now, you know? And sometimes like that's what stops me from ever complaining or anything. If I want perspective, right, I think about 14-year-old Taz and where she was at and how lost and stuck and just like sad she was. And then I look at how I am now and I'm like, listen girl, you have nothing to complain about. 14-year-old Taz would have killed to be where you are right now, so you have nothing to complain about. If anything, live your best life and be happy to make her proud. I want to be a good example for 14-year-old Taz. And I'm sure there's a lot of people watching who do feel and are like 14-year-old Taz, and I also want to be a good example to them too, because I want to show them that I know you're in a sad and bad and dark place right now and you don't see much hope, but look at what you can go on to do. And I want to show her that she can go on to do whatever she wants. And the only way I can do that is to be that example now. Those are two things that I do in my brain that keep me going. I'm gonna just lightly cover the whole thing in buttercream and then put it in the fridge for it to like harden. Okay, this is not going well. These are my top tips on how to become more confident and love yourself. Tip number 1. Get rid of toxic people. And by the way, when I say all of these tips, I'm not saying that these are easy. They're not easy, but they are in some cases very necessary. How are you gonna thrive in an environment that is wanting you to fail? I know it's really hard to cut toxic people out, but at the same time, if you value your self-worth and your mental health, then I really would recommend you try to cut toxic people out. Growing up, I was a massive people pleaser, and looking back now, I definitely let people walk all over me because I didn't have enough self-worth. I didn't value myself enough, and I would value other people's opinions of me way more than myself, right? And I was just really sad and depressed. And then one day I just was like, you know what, I'm gonna be selfish and I'm gonna put myself first. And I cut a lot of people out and it helped me a lot. I'm very lucky. I have a lot of supportive, loving people in my life, you guys included. You guys are a huge part of why I am more kind to myself and why I'm more loving. If you surround yourself with supportive, loving people, it makes you want to be more yourself, and you put out that positive vibes, and it motivates other people to do the same. And it's like this lovely, wholesome, positive circle. It's very hard to love yourself in an environment that doesn't love you. And that's something I didn't really understand until I got rid of toxic people. And then I realized how much like weight just lifted off of me. It's like almost getting rid of the barriers. And suddenly you're unleashed and you're out in the world and you're just doing all the things. Also, you don't need people to do things. I've never traveled growing up and things like that, so I didn't have a lot of experience in that sort of stuff. And I always thought I needed someone to travel with. And then I traveled by myself and realized you really don't. And it's really liberating and nice. And I think that was when I first started to realize how much I enjoyed my own company, and that I'm perfectly fine doing things by myself. Obviously, doing things with people is great too, but you don't need them. Classic. Be yourself. People say sometimes, oh, I can't be myself because the people around me will judge me or they won't accept me. Don't care. The reason why I say that is because the more you are yourself, the more you put out that energy out into the world, you'll attract that energy back. Who I was a few years ago is very different to who I am now. When I was younger, I was much more academic. I didn't show my goofy side as much, my sense of humor. And then the more I started showing myself and my personality, I found you guys. You guys started watching my videos, and I found people that were like-minded and liked me for me. But how am I going to find those people if I'm not showing them who I am? In order to find those people, you need to be that person. Just be your authentic, true self, and someone somewhere will like it. I mean, you guys have put up with me for this long. And like sometimes when I look back, I don't look back at any of my videos because they make me cringe so much. But the fact that this many people have watched my videos and have stayed, listen, if I managed to do it, you can do it. People have seen me spit out of a cup in my car and they subscribed and they stayed. It's proof that if you are just yourself, you're gonna find your own people. Also, I think I'm doing this wrong. Okay, we'll go with it. Boundaries. I'm not gonna lie, this one I struggle with every single day. I think it's just ingrained into our minds since we were young to just please others, right? Whether that's in school, to get the grades, to get into uni, to get a job. In your job, you're constantly having to like please your boss or your co-workers or the customers, because customers apparently are never wrong. As someone who's worked in a supermarket for 5 years, I would beg to differ, but you know what I mean? You're constantly, or societal pressures, beauty standards. Life just is constantly putting pressure on you to please others. And we very rarely think about what is it that we want and we need. If you set yourself boundaries, it basically gives that control back into your own hands, and you're controlling how much of yourself you give to others. It's just really important to have certain boundaries for your own mental health. I know you mean well because you just want to help people and you want to give all you can to people, and that's like a pure, nice, good thing. But the risk of doing that is that you're losing yourself in the process. We want to protect that energy. We want to nurture it. Make sure that it's done in a healthy way so that you feel good about yourself. The more boundaries I've set in my life, the happier I've been and the more confident I've been. None of this is easy in the beginning. Once you've done this and you practice at it, it gets so much easier and you never go back. So this is my chrome coat. It's probably too much, but I mean, what's a girl to do? Now I'm gonna put this in the fridge for a few hours so that it hardens. I put my cake right next to the tuna. That's not good. For example, one thing I really struggle with is I post videos of myself online, and I feel like online there is this pressure to share every aspect of your life. I'm someone who likes to keep my private life private. For example, my family, I like to keep that private because my family is like my safe space, especially when the world gets overwhelming and all that. I go to my family and that's where I feel the most safe. And so my natural instinct is I want to protect that, and I don't want to share that with the whole world. It just doesn't feel right to do that. So that's like one boundary I put. It's hard navigating that, but if you do put these boundaries in place, it just helps with your mental health so much. Now it's the exciting thing, because now we're gonna make the pink icing. Ooh, okay, this is basically the moment I've been waiting for. I want it to be like really bright pink. Okay, so I've just made the icing and look at this color. Oh, look at it. Is that not the most aesthetically pink you've ever seen in your life? Which brings me on to my next tip. Do things that bring you joy. This brings me an insane amount of joy, and I'm feeling pretty happy right now just looking at it. Oh, it's so pretty. I don't know why, this makes my heart so happy. It came out so much nicer than I thought it would be. Oh my god, this can look so nice. I now want to paint this whole flat this color. Imagine if I just like spreaded that around the flat. Oh, that's a lot of buttercream. Looks nicer. And if you don't know what it is that makes you happy, just do a bunch of lots of random different things and eventually you'll find something that you like. I had never shown any interest in poetry growing up. Didn't really think that was gonna be like my thing. Turns out now, I love it. I never traveled growing up and I never saw myself as someone who would solo travel. Like that's wild. Did it, turned out I really like it. Performing on stage, it terrifies me still, but I never saw myself as like a public speaker person. Did it, turns out I really like it. Oh, and I skydived once and I thought I'd be terrified skydiving, but when I did it, I blooming loved it. If you're not sure what it is that you like, just try anything and everything. There's so many things to do in the world, right? There's bound to be something that you enjoy. I think when I was young, I saw it as like you grow when you're a kid and in your teen years, and when once you become an adult, that's it. You've done your growing, this is who you are. Not true. You can be so many different people in one lifetime. I can wake up tomorrow and decide to be a completely different person. Like I could. Who's stopping me? No one. I mean, I'd get a lot of people saying you've changed in the comment section, but like, as long as I'm happy, who cares? Who you are today could be completely different to who you are in a year's time. Like when I look at myself throughout the years, I've changed so much in the past couple of years. It's insane. I think I'm lots of different things, depending on my mood, depending on the day. Depending on the time of the year, I am in a different mental place, right? So I don't like labeling myself. I just like to wake up and feel wherever there is to feel and decide that's what I feel like that day. If you know yourself well enough and you know who you are truly deep down, and the best way to do that is just to learn about yourself, the less outward judgments are gonna affect you. Because they're only gonna affect you if there's a bit of truth in there, right? Like the best way to have a shield against the judgment is to know yourself well enough, and that's like your protective layer. I hope I explained that well. I probably didn't. For example, there are a lot of things I'm insecure about, right? So what I would do is I try to understand, why am I insecure about it? Why am I this way? Why does this one thing really bother me? And when I break it down and come to the root of it, I can work on that and fix it. And suddenly that's not something I'm as insecure about anymore. So it's about working on yourself. I think as humans, we try to avoid all the things, the ugly parts of us, and we want to suppress it. But it doesn't work because it comes out in your behaviors in so many different ways, like insecurities and stuff, right? The best way to deal with being the best way to truly be confident is to accept yourself through and through. Because confident isn't a look, it's a mindset. Whew. Wow. Can you tell I've been listening to a lot of podcasts recently? Because my mind is on fire today. Look how pretty. So now it's the scary part because I gotta do the writing and I pretty much just have one go. I'm just gonna go for it and then it's too late. Oh God, it's a lot quicker than I thought it was gonna be. Okay, that was really, really fast. Okay, it's really fast. It's coming really fast. Sal. And an F, people. Oh, look, you're quite cute. Oh, my heart. Love yourself. And then I got these like little chocolate love heart things. And I thought I could just put them. How cute. Oh my God, I'm so happy with how that turned out. That actually turned out sick. That turned out so good. Oh my God, is that not the most aesthetic thing you've ever seen in your life? I got my projector out and decided to create a home cinema setup. I've been wanting to do this for such a long time. I love a cute den moment. Got popcorn, my Bluetooth speaker, and it turned out so stinking cute. Don't beat yourself up over not being where you want to be in life. Everything takes time. Loving yourself and confidence is like anything in life. It's a skill. You have to practice at it to get better at it. We didn't learn how to read or write or speak in a day. We weren't just born able to speak a language. We had to practice at it every single day till it became natural and normal and second nature. We didn't have to think about it anymore. And it's the same with confidence and loving yourself. You're not gonna just wake up one day and feel confident. It's something you have to practice. But if you don't start, you won't get there. The more you practice, and by practice I mean put yourself out of your comfort zone, try new things, get rid of toxicity, do things that make you happy, focus on working on yourself to be a better person, naturally you will grow in confidence. So it's just about putting all those things into practice, and then hopefully one day you'll realize that you are more than enough. Everything you need in life to feel fulfilled is within you. I want you guys to know your self-worth, your value, realize that you matter and you're so important and you have so much to give. You just don't realize it yet. But imagine when you do realize, it's gonna blow your mind and you're gonna be so happy and fulfilled and you're gonna go on to do so many amazing, crazy, beautiful things. And I'm just so excited for you. At the end of the day, you're gonna be stuck with you for a really long time. Basically your whole life. So you might as well get to like it. As always, thank you so much for watching. I love you lots. Please know that you matter and that you're important and you have worth and you're valued and you matter to me and I appreciate you lots. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. I love you lots and I shall see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.